Tonight we're talking about wisdom. Now I want to remind you when to use these videos in your study. After you have already done all your observation, that you've wrestled with the text and you're thinking a lot about the text. In our studies in general, it's good to go from observation to interpretation, what's it mean, to application, what's it mean to me? What's there, what's it mean to me? These videos are to help us in that second and third sections. As I'd love to see you do it in the middle of interpretation. You began interpretation, now let me give you some more things to think about and how to apply it. So as we think about how to interpret this, it says God wants to give us wisdom generously. Why do you think that is? Why does God want to do that for us? Psalm 23 says, God guides us in paths of righteousness for His name's sake. It's like God has a stake in this. So what's God's stake in our life? Why is it in His interest to guide us and lead us? And of course, the second question is, how should that affect you? And how do you really believe that it's in God's interest to guide us and lead us? Now, the second question I want to talk about is this idea of the doubter in the midst of this. I think people can mistake this and think it has to do about being decisive and that people are indecisive and that's the real evil. But actually, when it talks about this unstable person, if you look in Isaiah 57:20, it says, but the wicked are like the tossing sea which cannot rest, whose waves cast up mire and mud. There is no peace, says my God, for the wicked. And you can tell it almost sounds like a quote that James is using here. It says the wicked are like these things. In what ways is doubting like the wicked? Because I think the issue is not an issue of being decisive. It's an issue of those who place their faith in God, who really trust Him. The problem he says is that you're not really trusting God, and that's what makes you so unstable in all your ways. I want you to think about it as an analogy. You ever had a boss who gave you an assignment he entrusted to you, but then he constantly looked over your shoulder, constantly asked questions, and ended up doing half the assignment himself because he didn't believe you were really doing it, and you're left going, why did you even ask me to do it if you're going to look over my shoulder the whole time? You wanted to, he was unstable essentially in what he asked you to do. Well, God says that's what happens to us. We go to God in the midst of trials and difficulties, we ask for wisdom and guidance, and then we don't really believe He'll give it to us. We don't really believe that He's going to help us through that thing. And He says, that's an unstable person. That is like the wicked. How do we do that? And that's a question for us is, have you felt that before? Have you felt that uncertainty? And don't think about wisdom in terms of little decisions you need to make. Sometimes the wisdom can be just in the sense of, how do I persevere, Lord? How do I go through this? What am I feeling right now? Wisdom can come in all ways. It's really a way to live rightly in the world. Anyway, have a good study tonight.